All right. Catch this alert. All right, here we go. We on. All right, shalom, shalom. Just a second. Make sure everybody that didn't get the alert get one. All right, shalom, shalom. I want to start.
Shalom.
I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakaha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the Akim teaching about the mind while mouth. That's the sincerity and truth. Shalom. Yep, brother Yatazaka got the brother Yaiko out here with me. This GMS Dallas, and as you can see from the title, what we want to do is we want to get into the Book of Maccabees, and what we always do is we show how the things that were written aforetime before our learning. You see, understanding how our forefathers dealt with situations when they were put under pressure to fold. You know, during the time of the Maccabees, it was during the time of the Greco-Roman Empire. You know, which is one of the beasts that was described in the Book of Daniel. So what we want to do is we want to go through the scriptures, you know, and show through prophecy and through these precepts what happened back then, what's going to happen today, and what we need to look for in the times that we're living in. You know what I'm saying? You got anything you want to say before we get started, Yaquab?
No, you pretty much nailed it down.
Okay, come. So what we want to do is we want to get into the prophecy. You know, we want to get into the prophecy, go into the book of Daniel. You know what I'm saying? When you go into this chapter, verse 23, it's a few verses that we're gonna pull just to establish the point, right? So now you have the king of Babylon, right? The vision of the four beasts, right? And let's read the first few verses. Yeah, let's read the first few verses, and then we'll jump around this chapter a little bit just to establish what's going on.
Okay, come on.
Let me share my screen real quick. All right. Let me know when you can see it, and then you can go ahead and get after it.
Oh yeah, that's I see it. So you want me to start at the top?
Con.
This is Daniel 7:1. It says, in the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions of his head upon his bed. Then he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters. Verse 2 says, Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of heaven strove upon the great sea, that four great beasts came upon from the sea, diverse one from another. The first was like a lion.
Hey, let me stop you real quick. Can you get Job 33:16 real quick? Cause see what was happening. The king of Babylon, he had a dream. He had a dream that he couldn't interpret, right? Similar to Pharaoh and Joseph, right? The Pharaoh had these dreams and he didn't know what to make of it, so he started to get um um he had people on his own cabinet, people on his own staff that could interpret dreams and things of that nature, and they could interpret the dream either. You see, but Daniel had worked his way up into the Babylonian Empire to the point to where they asked him about the dream and could he interpret it. You see, and the Lord gave him a vision of the dream that the king had. Therefore, he interpreted the dream, letting the king know what to look for because he was troubled by the dream so much. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
This is Job 33:16. It says, oh, you know what? You said 16, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It says, yeah, 33:16. Then he opened the ears of men.
Go up two verses. Go up two verses, like 14.
Okay, verse 14. It says, for the Lord speaketh once, yea, twice, yet man perceiveth it not.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So Daniel, I will say that Daniel is interpreting the dream that another man couldn't. right? Because the Lord put the spirit on Daniel to understand what he needed to understand to break that down and give Daniel favor in that captivity. Go ahead.
Con. Verse 15 says, "In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, and slumber is upon the bed, then he openeth the ears of men, and sealeth their instruction."
Oh,
That
yep. This is what he did with Daniel. This is what he did with Daniel. I say this is what he did with the king, and this is what he did with Daniel. Go ahead.
he may withdraw man from his purpose, and hide pride from man.
All right, now we can go back to Daniel.
Con. This is back in Daniel 7 and uh
4.
okay, so 7 and 4 it says, the first was like a lion and had eagle's wings. I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth, and made stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it.
Right, and it's gonna break yourself down later in the chapter. You're gonna see, right? All right, so now go read the second beast.
Con. I beheld another beast, a second like to a bear, and it raised up itself on the side, and it had 3 ribs in the mouth of it between the teeth of it. And they said thus unto it, Arise, devour much flesh. After this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it.
All right, now check this out. This verse is the one we're gonna focus on, right? This verse right here, right? That leopard, right? Then you got the 4 beasts that was along with him. You know what I'm saying? We gonna when we get into Maccabees, it's gonna reveal who those men are. You know, we'll say the reason why the apocrypha was taken out because it had pertinent information. Right? Go ahead and read the next verse, Baba Kasha.
Con, verse 7, it says, After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns.
See now what that's going into the Greco-Roman Empire. You know what I'm saying? Which fell and then later came back. You see, as the Greco-Roman Empire, they didn't conquer the whole entire known world. They just they only conquered what they could see. They hadn't made it to this side of the world conquering yet. They had to fall and then rise up again before they were able to conquer the rest of the world. You see, when you get into those heads and those horns, it goes into that beast system that was set up. You know what I'm saying? Back then, that fell away and then it came back pursuant to Revelation chapter 20. We don't have to get it, but it's a lot going on right now. But what we want to do is we want to establish that the Greco-Roman Empire during the time of the Maccabees, that same time is going to happen again today, right? So we want to tie the scriptures together to show you how we navigate through them to understand what to look for, to understand the prophecies. All right, go back to now. Now that you don't went to Daniel, let's jump down to the where the dream is being broken down. Right, the vision interpreted. All right. So
Con.
let's start at verse 15, and we just gonna read down.
Okay, con. This is Daniel 7 and 15. It says, I, Daniel, was grieved in my spirit, in the midst of my body, and the visions of my head troubled me. I came near unto one of them that stood by, and asked him the truth of all this. So he told me and made me know the interpretation of the things.
Right, I will say the angels let Daniel know what the deal was, so that he could let the king know what the deal was. Go ahead.
These great beasts, which are 4 kings, which shall arise out of the earth, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Then I would know the truth of the fourth beast, which was diverse from all the others, exceeding dreadful.
Right, military might, the way that they ran everything, the two-party system, right? Everything else had just been kings passing things down to their sons, right? But the Greco-Roman Empire did things a little bit different, right? Which is an indicator of who they are, right? When you go back into the history of the Greco-Roman Empire, they go back to the Edomites. Go ahead.
Khan, whose teeth were of iron, and his nails of brass, which devoured, brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with his feet. And of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom three fell, even of that horn that had eyes, and a mouth that spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows, I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them, until the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High, and the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. Thus he saith, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon earth, which shall be
Right.
diverse,
Go ahead.
which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it in pieces.
You see now that didn't happen overnight. That happened over two different rulerships. You know what I'm saying? The Greco-Roman Empire fell, then it came back. So they made war against the Saints back then. They gonna make war against the Saints now. You see? Let's get Revelation 12. Yeah, get Revelation 12.
God. This is Revelation chapter 12. You want me to start at the top or where?
No, started like 11 or 12.
Okay, Khan. Let's see. Therefore, rejoice ye heavens, or
Yeah.
you want to go to the part where they
Yeah,
fought?
just go straight to the point. We're talking about the enemy coming down with great wrath.
Oh, okay, I got you. It says therefore, I will start at 13. Yeah, and when the dragon saw that he was cast unto the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man child.
That dragon is representing the Edomites and this Greco-Roman rulership, this beast system. You know what I'm saying? The woman represents Israel. You know what I'm saying? Now this is going into 70 AD. You see, but 70 AD is another type of situation like that Maccabean situation. And the siege, Masada, all these different times where we were under the threat of imminent death. Now think about this: during the time of the Maccabees, it was really, 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 really uh, uh, forced on us to go away from the Heavenly Father. You see, 70 AD was a similar situation, you know, and these things were written aforetime for our learning. So once we get into them, we're establishing that there have been several times in the history of the Israelites where we were under the threat of imminent death under the Greeks and the Romans. You see, and it ain't no different today. All right, go ahead.
Khan, actually, let me start up at verse 12. It says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down to you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time."
That's what I'm saying. And that's going into the Edomites rulership, seeing that their kingdom is crumbling. They this plan that they have to cross out the Messiah and replace him with medicine and technology is I mean they going for it. You know. Go ahead.
Salaki Saquan, my wife's about to get here. Let me unlock the door because then these dogs will start barking.
Okay. Yeah. So what's going on? What's going on? During the time of 70 AD is similar to the time of what was going on in the Maccabees. It's similar to the time of what's going on now. You see in this urgency, and you see in this rush, and you see in this push. You know what I'm saying? To get people to lay down. You know, and during the time of Maccabees, this thing it was that type of pressure. You know what I'm saying? In the time of Maccabees, they were forcing our people to eat pork. They were desecrating the temple. They was saying that they couldn't tell people that they Israelites. You see, they was banning the doctrine of the Israelites. You see, which is similar to what they doing now. They telling us we're not the Israelite. Everything that the scriptures say that we were gonna go through, they doing it. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. We got a precept. All right. I will the water for the precept. Right. This is Ecclesiastes 1:9. It says, "The thing that had been is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It had been already of old time, which was before us." You see, and that's why these things were written down. Let me go ahead and get Romans 15:4 real quick. All right. This is Romans chapter 15:4. It says, "Whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, right? Let's look at this word learning. See what we come up with. It was written for our learning, right?
Strong's G 1319. Didaskalia. Didaskalia.
All right. Learning, teaching, instruction, that which is taught, doctrine, right? Teaching, precepts, right? That's good. That's good stuff. Doctrine, the precepts, right? These things were written for our learning. These precepts is what give us hope, man. Right? It says that we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope. You see, when you see how our forefathers and our foremothers handle certain situations, you know, you understand that these situations are going to come upon you, and you have an opportunity to man up too. Just as simple as that, man. You see? All right. Let's see. Go back. Get Revelation 12. Right? It says the devil coming upon you having great wrath. Right? Right. Knowing that he had but a short time, right? So that's what I want. Revelation 13. There we go. Revelation 13. This is what he gonna do with that short time. You see? Trying to force this mob mentality, right? Revelation 13 and 16. It says, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. See, during the time of Maccabees, instead of their mark in their right hand and in their foreheads, they were forcing our people to eat pork. You know what I'm saying? To show their allegiance to the Greeks. You know what I'm saying? Denouncing Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Fast forward to today, it's a similar situation. You know, they want to show allegiance. They want allegiance to be shown to this system, right? It says, and he calls it all, both small and great, free and poor, rich and bond. Matter of fact, let me go up some. I'm gonna go up a verse. Revelation 13 and 15. It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, right? That the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed, right? Should be killed, right? Right now they offering you $100. Right now they trying to do all this madness, but it's gonna come to a point to where it's gonna be more. It's gonna be a whole lot more crucial, right? It says, and he calls it all both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that have the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. And you have to know the difference between the three, right? It says that no man shall buy and sell, save he have the mark, right? The mark, I would say the mark is the charagma. The image of the beast is this system that we living in. This whole beast system, the power structure, the Roman Catholic Church, all these different things that are pretty much engulfed the world in wickedness. You see, and then the mark is to go ahead and take that. Go ahead and take that insertion. You know. All right. You good?
Khan, yeah, Salakia.
Now you I will say what's we can go yeah. So we was getting into the mark of the beast, right?
Khan.
It says here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. His number is 600, six score and six. You see? So during the time of the Maccabees, the forcing of the Israelites to denounce their heritage and eat pork was the equivalent of taking that mob mentality. So you pledge an allegiance. You pledge an allegiance to your power. You're saying that you are with this system, and the Lord no longer has control of you. You know what I'm saying? And during the time of Maccabees, we just gonna jump into it, right? We can go ahead and jump into the chapter now when you're ready, bro. Oh, dog's barking too hard. All right, let's get a couple precepts off the comment board.
Okay, Salakia.
All right. This is 2nd Edges 15 and 1. It says, behold, Speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. You see, going into these prophecies, the Lord put the prophecies in our mouth, man. You see, it says, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. You see, so these things that were written aforetime for our learning, if they all gonna happen again and they're gonna repeat themselves, you might as well go ahead and get into the prophecies full fledged and see what's going on, right? Second Maccabees 7:1 says, and it came to pass also that 7 brethren with their mother were taken and compelled by the king against the law to taste swine's flesh, and were tormented with scourges and whips. But one of them that spake first said thus, what wouldest thou ask or learn of us? We are ready to die rather than to transgress the laws of our fathers. And that's the spirit that we coming in today, getting into these getting into this mob mentality that's about to be forced on people. We already seeing it form. All right. So let's go ahead and jump into the chapter. We're gonna read through the chapter and what applies to today. Lord willing, we'll be able to bring it out and bring some edification to let our people know what to look for, because it is our job to warn. Right? Let's go.
You want that in First Maccabees?
Yeah, we start at the top.
Okay, con. This is First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 1. And it says, and it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece. And that goes into what the elder had brought out in Daniel, the 7th chapter. You know, that second beast being the Persians, and the third beast being the Grecian Empire.
I'm gonna read Daniel 7:6 for you again. It says, after this I beheld, and lo, like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast also had 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. All right, let's jump back to the Maccabees.
Verse 2, it says, and made many wars, and won many strongholds, and slew the kings of the earth. You know, and you can read that account of what happened with the Persian Empire and the Grecian Empire in Daniel the 8th chapter.
Right.
And it says, verse 3, and went through to the ends of the earth, and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him, whereupon he was exalted, and his heart was lifted up.
All right, talking about Alexander. You know what I'm saying? It was written that once he had conquered everything, he was sad because it wasn't nobody else left to conquer. You know, go ahead.
God, yeah, it says, and he gathered a mighty strong host, and ruled over countries and nations and kings, who became tributaries unto him. And after these things he fell sick, and perceived that he should die.
Right, I was saying, when you go into the history of Alexander, you'll see that it was about from 20 to 32. He was in the spirit of conquering everything that was known. You see, this is when you start to see the earth being given into the hands of the wicked. You see, prophecy played out with the Edomites controlling, being given control of the earth. You see, and it was through phases. They had the Greco-Roman Empire, and then they fell, and then they came back through the Renaissance, and that's what we getting into by bringing up all this history. You see,
I got a precept.
Bring it out.
This is Genesis 27, verse 38. It says, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above, and by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, thou shalt break his yoke from thy neck. So there goes the key points right there. It says that it shall be the fatness of the earth, and by the sword shalt thou live. You know, and that's all what Alexander the Greek was all about. The sword, you know, conquering the earth, you know. And then that's Esau's same spirit today, man. You see how America is all up in all these other nations' business. You know, just poking around, seeing, you know, the trying to declare democracy. You know, that's that beast.
That's right. I would say it was different from all the rest of them because of that two-party system and how powerful the military had gotten. You know. Go
Uh,
ahead.
so this is back in First Maccabees 1 and yeah, 8, and it says, and his servants bear rule every one in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth.
Right? It was said the earth was given into the hands of the wicked, and evil started to multiply. You see, and those four generals that took over after Alexander died was Lysimachus, Cassander, Seleucid, and Ptolemy. You see, and you can go into the history on all four of those, especially when you get into the history of the Maccabees, man. You see, people don't understand that the book of the Maccabees being taken out destroyed a whole lot of history that was necessary to understand the falling away of the Israelites and the rising up of the Gentiles after Yahushua had made that sacrifice. You see, you have to understand the history to know the mystery, just like the apostles taught us. Go ahead.
And it says, verse 10, and there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been an hostage at Rome, and he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks.
Yeah, I was, and it talks about Antiochus in the book of Daniel as well, but we don't have to go get it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, you got two. I was like, you got two little horns that is talking about in the book of Daniel. One is talking about baby Babylon being American. The other one is talking about Antiochus, which we're gonna get more into him as we roll through the Maccabees. Go ahead.
And it says, verse 11, in those days went there out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow.
See, now back then, they were putting so much hell on Jake. They was putting so much hell on Jake that Jake was starting to sell out. You know what I'm saying? Fast forward to today, Jake doing the same thing with these 501c3s. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and take it. You know what I'm saying? You'll be a fool not to do this. They want to make sure you good so you can keep on slaving for them. All this jive, right? We got to be able to preach the gospel, so we got to be able to travel. So we got to go ahead and, you know what I'm saying? Using the book of Revelation 13, right? Same thing. I mean, not Revelation 13, Romans 13. You know what I'm saying? But you had wicked men amongst Israel that were being made very uncomfortable by the powers that be. Same thing is happening today. Keep reading.
It says, verse 12, so this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinance of the heathen, whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem, according to the customs of the heathen, and made themselves uncircumcised, and forsook the holy covenant, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischief.
See, I was saying that you fast forward to today, even though it ain't a gymnasium situation, look at all these Israelite churches, man, that's selling out. You see? They making a covenant. They making a covenant, man. Look, man, we just gonna tell our congregation to go on and do that. You know what I'm saying? And why? Because that's what they being told. That wasn't their idea. You know, they being told due to the stipulations that they done due to the stipulations that they dealing with. You see, it said they made a covenant with the heathen. Go ahead.
I got a quick one. It says, Jeremiah 2 and 13. It says, for my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and hewed them out cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water. You know, and that's what they did when they joined themselves unto the heathen. You know, and it's been like that. That's why our people are in the condition that they in. You know, they looking at, man, our people really thought was looking at Joe Biden.
What's up?
You know, they were looking at Joe Biden like he was the next big thing. You know, and they gonna see. They're gonna see this man's horns. You know, he acting all friendly and all cool. You know, and right now, but like we're about to go into, that's gonna change. You know, that he's gonna reveal his true intentions, because that's how Esau is.
That's right. I was saying that. I was saying. Well, matter of fact, get John 8:44 real quick. I'm gonna pull this off the comment board from the brother. All right. This is Jeremiah 5:26. It says, "For among my people are found wicked men. They lay wait as he that setteth snares. They set a trap. They catch men." Man, you see. I don't say because the just like what's it? Matter of fact, let me get seduceth.
Um,
Yeah, the ways of the heathen seduceth men. Right? Proverbs 12:26. It says, "The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth men." Let's get this word seduce. There we go. All right. All right. Let me see. That's the the wa. Right. To wander, go astray, stagger, to wander physically, of intoxication, of sin, wandering, to be made to wander about, be made to stagger, drunkard, to be led astray ethically, to be led astray, to cause to wonder about physically, to cause to wonder, intoxication, to cause to err, mislead mentally and morally. Okay, wow, that was a lot. That was a lot.
yeah, you know what? Isn't there a scripture that says that they have made them, pretty much uh, Esau taught with Israel that they had given them, they got them drunk or they're giving them wine or something like that. I can't think
Yeah,
of it.
it's a few precepts on that.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's a
that word seduceth, man. That's heavy, man. That's a heavy word.
oh snap. Did
All
you
right, we can keep going.
okay, Con, you said John 8:24?
8:44.
Oh, 44. Okay, Con. This is John 8:44. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father you will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. Yeah, that reminds me of the Psalms. That he be born uh, wicked as soon as he come out of the womb, telling lies.
Yep.
And it
That's what I'm
says,
saying, man. I would say they doing these other groups, and these other all Jake period, whether you Israel or not. The ways of the wicked seduces them, man. So they fall in hook, line, and sinker for it, man. They let say just like they that damsel that's betrothed to a husband in the field. If that man just forces himself on her and she cry out, you don't find no fault in her, and she get to live and he go to death and he get put to death. But if she consent, then she die with him. You know what I'm saying? And our people are consenting to this mess, man. But that's what I'm
"Oh,
saying. During the time of the Maccabees, the pressure was so heavy that that's what they was doing. I saw a video earlier where a dude was like, "Man, I'm an entrepreneur, man. So I just got to, if I'm gonna be selling stuff, I got to be safe. So I didn't have no choice but to go ahead and do that." You know what I'm saying? So we seeing it play out. You got it.
Don, I got a precept going into how the harlot, I mean the woman that cried. So and then
Cut.
if she doesn't cry out, then they both get put to death. So I'm gonna read Jeremiah 3:6. It says, "The Lord said also unto me in the days of Josiah the king, Hast thou seen that which backsliding Israel had done? She has gone up upon every high mountain and under every green tree, and there played the harlot." You know, so going into the spiritual fornication that Israel committed against the Lord. You know, like we read in First Maccabees. They forsook the Lord, and then they joined themselves unto the heathen.
Yep.
And they
Ezekiel, Ezekiel 16 come to mind.
Well, you want me to pull it or you?
Yeah, you can go. Yeah, you can go. No. Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can go ahead. We can go ahead. But Ezekiel 16 goes into what you just said. So if y'all want to read that on your own time.
Okay, Khan. All right. Okay. You want me to go back to John?
Yeah, read that again, and then we can jump back to the Maccabees.
Okay, Khan. And it says, John 8 and 4. I'm gonna read 44 again. It says, ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father you will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it.
That's what I'm saying, man. They want to, and we'll say they want to do the lust of their father, which is Satan, which is Esau. You know what I'm saying? We want to do the lust of our father, which is Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. Go ahead.
Khan. And because I tell you the truth, you believe me not, which of the community. Okay, I think that was the point on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to go back to First Maccabees. This is First Maccabees 1 and 16. Now, when the kingdom was established before Antiochus, he thought to reign over Egypt, that he might have the dominion of 2 realms. Wherefore he entered into Egypt with a great multitude, with chariots and elephants and horsemen, and a great navy, and made war.
That's what I'm saying. So now you can equate Antiochus trying to conquer Egypt and all the known world to Esau Edom trying to world domination, the whole. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Khan. It says, and made war against Ptolemy, king of Egypt, but Ptolemy was afraid of him and fled.
That's what I'm saying. Ptolemy and Seleucid. I was saying Ptolemy and Seleucid came up together. You fast forward to this Antiochus and Ptolemy. You know what I'm saying? Now they warring against each other. The house is divided. Same thing. It's the same thing, bro. Keep going.
And it says, and made war against Ptolemy, the king of Egypt, but Ptolemy was afraid of him and fled, and many were wounded to death. Thus they got the strong cities in the land of Egypt, and he took the spoils thereof. And after that Antiochus had smitten Egypt, he returned again in the 143rd year, and went up against Israel and Jerusalem with a great multitude.
Now stop right there. Now see, now while they doing all this conquering and doing all this fighting and doing all that, the Israelites are still living their life just like right now. Right? All these nations gathering up and putting their weapons together and getting their military in order and all that. While me and you was at work today. Same thing, bro. It's the same thing. Nothing new under the sun. Right? Keep going.
And entered proudly into the sanctuary, and took away the golden altar and the candlestick of light and all the vessels thereof, and the table of the shewbread and the pouring vessels and the vials and the censers of gold and the veil and the crowns and the golden ornaments that were before the temple, all which he pulled off.
Right, the destruction of the temple. Keep going.
He took also the silver and the gold and the previous vessels, precious vessels. Also he took the hidden treasures which he found. And when he had taken all away, he went into his own land, having made a great massacre and spoken very proudly. Therefore there was great mourning. So what
we can do, we're gonna jump down. We're gonna jump down to about
like 40, 44 or 43.
Yeah.
Okay, Khan.
Start at 41.
Okay, Khan, this is First Maccabees 1 and 41. It says, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people.
That's the same thing that's going on now, man. You see? Everybody, love your neighbor. Everybody got to do this. We all gonna be fine. Go ahead.
And everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king.
That's what I'm saying, man. Everybody talking about. Everybody want to keep on breaking this Bible up, telling us what we can and can't do. Everybody happy. It don't matter who you love. Just love everybody. That's all you gotta do. If you just love everybody and do what we say, y'all'll be fine. Keep reading.
It says, so all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion, and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath.
Whoa. It say many Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profane the Sabbath. That's what men are doing now. I'm talking about dudes that's coming in that they know they Israelites and Esau the white man and he going into slavery and kiss my boots and yada yada yada. Yeah, lined up for Satan sauce. Yeah, lined up. You'll be a fool to take that John Baptist to play the fish in the meantime. Well, we have to go. We have to go all over the world to preach this gospel. Yeah, we have to get on planes and we have to go over here. We have to go do all that to make sure that we tell the people that the Lord's name does not matter. Yeah, we gotta let this devil bust off in our arm and say the Lord's name don't matter. Go on, take it. You'll be a fool. You already know we the best slave Esau got, so he gonna make sure we strong enough to work. Yeah, like they gave us chitlins and stuff too, right? Yeah, okay. Wicked men found amongst Israel, man. Go ahead.
And it says, verse 46, and pollute the sanctuary and holy people, set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts, that they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make
That's
their
what I'm
souls.
saying, man. That's what I'm saying. You got all these dudes out on the streets whenever they feel like going out there, all gung-ho telling Israel that they need to repent and how worse they are. Ain't nobody prophesying except the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and like-minded men, man. That was even the groups out there that do teach that the mob mentality is that chip. So even though the people that the Israelites that do believe that, they don't teach it. You know what I'm saying? They not prophesying. They telling you to line up. They acting like that's what I'm saying. They lining up during the time of Maccabees. They was lining up like they gonna be here for a while. Like during the time of Jeremiah, when Jeremiah was telling the Israelites that they was gonna go in captivity under Babylon, so just going on and just accept it. No. This is a different time, man. You see, we living in a time where the prophets ain't all gonna die. We living in a time of the Lord's return, man. The Lord wasn't scheduled to return during the time of Jeremiah and Babylon. He's scheduled to return now. You see? Go ahead, bro.
It says that they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation, to the end that they might forget the law and change all the ordinances.
That's what's happening. That's what they pushing for now. And the pressure's getting heavier and heavier. You see? The pressure's getting a whole lot heavier, bro. Let me pull this precept off the comment board real quick. This is Isaiah 62:6. It says, I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. Yea, ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silence. That's what we're doing, man. That's what we're doing. It says, and give him no rest till he establish and till he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth, man. So that's what I'm saying. We prophesying to the Heavenly Father too. Lord, you said you was gonna come get us, right? You said you was gonna come get us. We going every single day. We throwing up them prayers. We throwing up them curses, man. We're not giving the Lord no rest. And in turn, he putting the spirit on us to where we can't get his devil no rest. Ain't nobody getting no rest until the Lord say so. You know? Go ahead.
God. Verse 50, it says, and whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die.
Stop right there. Hold on. I'm gonna go back to Revelation. We're gonna flush this thing out through the spirit. Read that line again, Baba Kashaw.
Verse 50, and it says, and whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die.
There we go. All right, now it says here. Hold on, where we at? Verse 15, Revelation 13 and 15. It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. That happened. I was saying that's scheduled to be on the table. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, hold up. Let me get Revelation 3 and 10 real quick. All right. It says Revelation 3 and 10, it says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, right? The prophets and the believers. It says, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, right? We shall come upon all the world in the Orthodox sense. Everybody gonna have to deal with this to try them to dwell upon the earth. Okay, go ahead.
Con, and it says, in the selfsame manner wrote he to his whole kingdom, and appointed overseers over all the people, commanding the cities of Judah to sacrifice city by city.
That's what I'm saying. He's making it law. He's writing it down. He's documenting. You see? Go ahead.
Then many of the people were gathered unto them, to wit, every one that forsook the law, and so they committed evils in the land, and drove the Israelites into secret places, even wheresoever they could flee for
That's what I'm saying. Just like Apostle Elder Aramla was talking about earlier, man, they coming. You see? They coming. You see, but we ready. We ready. Go ahead.
Now the 15th day of the month, Caslu, in the 145th year, they set up the abomination of desolation upon the altar, and builded idol altars throughout the city of Judah on every side, and burnt incense of the doors of their houses and in the streets. And when they had rent in pieces the books of the law, which they found, they burnt them with fire.
That's what I'm saying. They trying to get rid of this word now. You see? They trying to get rid of this word now. That's exactly what they trying to do now, man. They trying to ban history and take slavery out the history books, all these different things, man. You see? Trying to get rid of the Bible and the understanding of it, trying to get rid of it, period. That's what I'm saying. It's a famine of the word prophesied. We're in the process. We're in the time of the famine of the word coming. And that's what they already did it. It was a famine of the word back then. You see? They burned everything. That's why it was a fall. That's why it was such a falling away. And those Gentiles that were coming back during the time of the Lord, when they were coming back, they had been so far gone because of this right here, man. You see, they were getting killed for believing. Go ahead.
Verse 57, and whosoever was found, or wheresoever was found with any, the book of the testament, or if any consented to the law, the king's commandment was that they should be put him to death. Thus did they by their authority unto the Israelites every month, to as many as were found in the cities.
That's what I'm saying, bro. So y'all volunteering to get down with the system, man. It's gonna come a monthly thing. They're gonna want something out of y'all. They're gonna continue to want more and more out of you. And they're gonna get it too. Go ahead.
It says, verse 59, now the 25th day of the month they did sacrifice upon the idol altar, which was upon the altar of the Lord. At which time, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women that had caused their children to be circumcised.
That's what I'm saying. It's gonna come a point. It's gonna come a point where they're gonna be trying. They're gonna be trying to put that medicine in the babies. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have women that's gonna stand up. All these things gonna happen again, man. Everybody ain't down with this, man. You see, they getting a whole lot of pushback. Go ahead.
And they hanged the infants about their necks, and rifled their houses, and slew them that had circumcised them.
They coming. Go ahead.
Howbeit, many in Israel were fully resolved and confirmed in themselves not to eat any unclean thing.
That's what I'm saying. But it was still some. The elect was like, nah, man, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Go ahead.
Wherefore they chose rather to die, that they might not be defiled with meats, and that they might not profane the holy covenant. So then they died, and there was very great wrath upon Israel.
That's what I'm saying, man. We're gonna have to deal with this, man. We're gonna have to deal with this, man. But the scriptures talk about those that die in this truth. Their works ain't gonna be forgotten. Get Revelation 14.
Okay. This is Revelations 14
and 13.
Okay. This is Revelations 14 and 13. And I heard a voice from heaven saying unto them, right, blessed are the dead which die in the Lord from henceforth, yea, saith the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors, and their works do follow them. And I looked, and behold, a white cloud. Okay, yeah.
Yep, your works do follow you. Get Revelation 14 and 9. Your works do follow you, right? So if you man up, your works gonna follow you. And if you don't man up, your works gonna follow you. Get Revelation 14 and 9, and then we're gonna get Revelation 20. Yeah, we're gonna get Revelation 20, and then we can close out after that.
This is Revelations 14 and 9. It says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or
That's
in
what I'm
his
saying.
hand.
Which is looking like what these Israelite groups are lining up to do. Read it again.
Revelation 14 and 9, it says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Lord, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb.
That's what I'm saying. If you open up your legs to the stranger, even though you betrothed to even though you betrothed, you get to die with that nigga. Let's go get Romans 20 and 4. Revelation 20 and 4.
Okay, this is Revelations 20 and 4. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua.
That's what I'm saying. Beheaded for the witness of Yahushua, man. Just like the ones we just read about in the Maccabees, man. They would rather die than to transgress. We come in that stead, and Lord willing, we endure to the end, man. Because we understand the reward, man, and we want the reward. Go ahead.
And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua and for the word of the Lord, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither he had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Hamashiach 1,000 years.
That's what I'm saying, man. So the scriptures tell you, if you don't man up, you're going to be destroyed. You see? It says the souls of the men that were beheaded for the Lord and the witnesses of the Lord, right? Meaning that they said no, okay? In the book of the Maccabees, they all said you had that group of people that said no. We're going to have to deal with these things, man, right? Let's get a couple more comment board, right? This is Revelation 2 and 10, right? Brother on fire, right? It says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. That's what I'm saying. That's why we waiting for it. These things got to happen so we can get our crown, right? Ecclesiasticus 4:28. It says, strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. The Lord can't wait to fight for us, man. He already set it up. He already set it up for us to win. You see? Yeah, we can end it on that one. We can end it on that with the water. The water. You go ahead and close us out, brother.
Oh yeah, Khan. Yeah. So with that, Lord willing, brothers were edified. We want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakapadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teaching real well. Peace and blessings to the Hakim scattered throughout the four corners, keeping his word in truth and sincerity. Shalom.
Shalom.